Welcome back to Faster Garage, guys. We are getting ready for Sick Week. This video will also be in another set that we're doing because we are finally getting ready to revamp the interior in our truck a little bit to make it a little nicer because, as you can see, it's a little rough. So what are we doing today? We got a nice box from LMC Trucks. We got this full kit, and it's basically just so that we can run this guy again. Basically, glove box goes there, obviously, hides our computer and everything, also gives us a little bit more storage. And I'd like to have it back because there's not a lot of room in the truck to begin with. Now, what caused most of this problem is this little bracket right here. That sets right there and is a pivot for the lower hole on the glove box so that it will pivot. That broke, and guess what? LMC to the rescue with this part number right here. But while we're there, we're going to kind of unghetto the truck a little because this was held in with some screws and some other very questionable parts, and we want it done nice. So we're going to first clean because, as you can see, it is gross, and then get this glove box back in. But this is going to be the start of another series. Like I said, this will be in the Sick Week video, but also in our revamp of the interior. We're going to put a new radiator, new center section, new steering wheel, whole 9 yards, make this look a lot cleaner. So let's get started. Okay, guys, so this is how the glove box turned out. So we've got glove box back, drilled a small hole with a grommet so that we can hook our Haltech in and hook up to it. New straps to hold it there. Our new little mount behind the radio worked out wonderful. So it'll close. We'll have a glove box here. Now, something I'm doing different. This is a little latch, and normally there'd be a metal bar up here, but mine won't really latch anymore. As you can see, my dash is done. So what I've done is I've put 2 magnets. These are light duty magnets because it's not going to take a lot to hold this on. But I put them in here so that the glove box will close. I'm not going to close it for you guys right now just for the simple fact that this it's super glued, which is good quality, but needs to set longer, especially with as cold as it is in the shop. But basically, we'll be able to close it. It'll hold it. You'll be able to open it without stressing this. And again, we're about to do redo a lot of the interior in this, so we have something to fix this already in the shop. So that's pretty much it. We got it back. It looks much better. And then the only other thing we did is we also tried to make the outside of the truck look a little better as well. We did some of this Protex on the bed cover, and it has a nice sheen to it, nice feel to it. Makes it look like brand new. So this, along with painting the toolbox, has made this truck look tons better. So next thing we've got to do is sort out our headlights. I think I figured out what's going on with that, and we'll get our to-do list done on this bad boy and get it loaded on the trailer. All right, welcome back to Fast Garage today. As you can see, truck's in the shop again. No surprise. Notice a little different headwear here. That's because it is cold. So we're supposed to get like up to 15 inches of snow and temperatures in the negative, which does not happen here in Tennessee. So yeah, we're bundled up and it's cold here. But we're gonna get a few more things done to the truck since we're kind of waiting on parts, to be honest with you. I'm waiting on trailer tires, and so I figured while I was waiting on that, I would get the tires rebalanced on the truck because we use a local shop to do it. But to be honest with you, they haven't been the greatest about balancing it, so we tried a new shop. But that also gave us time to do a little upgrade that's been bothering me. Not gonna make the truck any faster, but maybe look a little bit better. So let's see what we're getting into. That's right, more painting. So, and I'm gonna be the first one to admit this is gonna be down and dirty, just so you know. So in here, we've cleaned it all off. But as you can see, even though the truck's not painted too nicely, this looks really rough. And what drives me nuts about this, let's see if we can pull it up on one of these pictures here. The truck's got that really cool front end lift to it, but I don't think these are going to be great pictures for it. There we go. Ooh, look at technology. You see? Well, look up at my fingers right there. Every time it lifts up, you can see the nasty fender wells, and I don't want that anymore. So that is what we're doing. We're going to paint the inner fender well. Nothing flashy, just some Rust-Oleum flat black and be done with it. So we're gonna flog it. It's already been cleaned, put coats on it. I got my little heaters running so that this will dry at some point. And this is gonna be something we're gonna get done real quick so that when we get our big picture this year like this at one of the racetracks, it looks even better. So I'll get started on this, get you guys a few videos in, and then this is our last video before Sick Week. So I'm gonna up-to-date you on some of the other little stuff we're doing, but that's where we're at. So let's get to it. So there's always fun to be had before a drag and drive. I don't know if you guys can see that well, but that black part to the left, that's inside the wheel, that's our wheel weight. And that shiny part on the caliper is basically where we've had to machine it down a little, or I should say take a bear to it and get us a little bit of room so that she doesn't rub. Had to do that on the top. Can't really show you that well. A little bit, and in the bottom, just so this will clear. But that's what we did with it right there. This is actually what I use for Ford and cast iron heads. But yeah, there is always something that comes up before drag and drive. That is just the way of the game. So at least we got this knocked out. We're gonna get this on the ground. This will be done except for packing it. And then we are switching trailers. And as you can tell, I'm tired because it's like 2 in the morning. But we're switching trailers and trying to get all this done before this snowpocalypse hits Tennessee. So let's get to it. So there's always fun to be had before a drag and drive. I don't know if you guys can see that well, but that black part to the left, that's inside the wheel, that's our wheel weight. And that shiny part on the caliper is basically where we've had to machine it down a little, or I should say take a bear to it and get us a little bit of room so that she doesn't rub. Had to do that on the top. Can't really show you that well. A little bit, and in the bottom, just so this will clear. But that's what we did with it right there. This is actually what I use for Ford and cast iron heads. But yeah, there is always something that comes up before drag and drive. That is just the way of the game. So at least we got this knocked out. We're gonna get this on the ground. This will be done except for packing it. And then we are switching trailers. And as you can tell, I'm tired because it's like 2 in the morning. But we're switching trailers and trying to get all this done before this snowpocalypse hits Tennessee. So let's get to it. So it might not look like much, but we painted our inner fenders like I showed you. And trucks look so much better. Honestly, what this is doing is when you're looking at the truck and you get back, the focal point is no more this like black and then faded gray and dirt and orange and all this that was right here. So it lets the truck stand out more, and it just doesn't draw your eye to it so that you focus on other things. Obviously the truck still needs a paint job and it's not perfect, but to me it looks so much better that they're blacked out. Obviously this part, the lip needs to be washed off, but to me it just makes a big difference when the fender wells aren't fading and, you know, showing the background of every picture you take. So let's continue to get ready for Sick Week. Well, we are knee deep in it now, guys. This is a 4x4 piece of plywood. I think this is a 1/4 inch thick or a little bit more. And this is our old trailer, which worked, but was not a good setup. Basically, toolbox was mounted where this line was, cooler set here, jack set there, nitrous bottle, fuel tank. But the problem was all of this had to be basically strapped down with ratchet straps. So it sucked to say the least. So what are we doing? We bought another toolbox. I just got it mocked up there, just seeing if it actually fit. And we're gonna move that all the way up against that bar, but basically now you'll have 2 toolboxes and nothing really to strap down except for the nitrous bottle in the front. So the way this is gonna work, probably tools here, jack and jack stands in here, along with maybe a smaller cooler. And that's pretty much it. Very lightweight, keep it simple. Now what I'm doing is this wood underneath, one, it has all these pieces in it. It wasn't put on very well, so that's what the new wood's for. And I'm just gonna pull everything off, put the new wood on, touch up a few things, and then flip it around, test it for lights once everything's mounted. And this is going to be our new setup. Now, I will say this is not going to be as convenient as the old trailer or the big trailer we have as far as taking stuff, because obviously it's more room when you throw it in, but this is smaller. That's a 4x6. This is a 4x4. So this is easier to deal with, lighter to deal with, fits on the trailer. And honestly, too, this thing is super light. So when we're out horsing around or pulling uphill in the truck, this is a lot less strain on the transmission. And if I like it this way, the only thing I would really change is probably shop around and find another metal one to replace that, rekey both of them, and actually get a piece of steel made to put on top of that. As this has new tires, new hubs, so all that stuff's perfectly fine. But that's what we're doing tonight. It is cold in the shop. The warmest it's going to be in here tonight. It's about 40 to 35 because it is in the teens outside. We're supposed to get the snowpocalypse stuff going. So this is not the most fun, but we're going to get it done and get this thing loaded, get ready for sick week next week. All right, so our sheet is mounted. We have, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 grade 8, 9/16 bolts with washers, bolting this down to the frame, so it should be super sturdy. We flogged some stuff black to make it look a little better, painted these over since they were just kind of faded red, and I checked the wiring, worked perfectly for the trailer, so that was a bonus. So now we're ready to mount toolboxes. Big one goes here in the back. Try to push it as far forward as we can, and the other one as far forward that way as we can. This is honestly curious that this has ever been mounted, because honestly before, all right, a moment of truth. Let's see if we can get this thing moved out of the ice without breaking something. She's pretty thawed right now for the most part on the front glass, so let's see what we can do. Well, to say this sucks is an understatement. I'm trying to get this brick moved so we can get the gate open to load up cars. Put hot water on it 3 or 4 times. Hit it with a ton of hammers. And she ain't going, so just putting the heat to it now. We'll see what happens. Oh, well, that wasn't fun, but she's on there. And yes, I know, she is very crooked. We're going to use one of the straps over here, pull it over a little bit. Usually that works on this. And as mucky as the tires and everything are, they'll probably be a little slick. But regardless, it's on there. We can get it down there this way. But yeah, I didn't film that because that was a stressful situation to say the least, but I'm extremely happy. We got her on there. The little trailer's in front. Haven't tied it down yet. Trying to figure out a better way of tying it down, which may or may not happen with our time constraints. But anyways, so yeah, guys, we're getting it. Goal for tonight is to get this strapped down, get the bed cleaned out, and get the truck fully loaded up, and pretty much get that off the list. Still got to pack this thing. Still a few odds and ends with this just to put in, but one thing at a time, and get out of this weather because we're supposed to get some more snow. So as you can see, the driveway is a mess. Yeah, but anyways, here we come, sick week 2026.